Hey guys, what's up? Today we are back in my kitchen, and normally we don't do like 2 baking videos like right one after the other, but today is a very special episode because this weekend's my birthday! And I thought what better way to celebrate than get to ice my own cakes. My wonderful husband Chris, who you saw in last week's video, he made 3 little cakes for me so that I could sit down and kind of test out a whole bunch of different cake decorating hacks that I'd seen online. It is the best part, so I'm not leaving that to Chris. That's too much fun. That's why I'm wearing pajamas, because it's my birthday. I'm gonna wear full makeup and pajamas on my birthday because it's my birthday. I'll say it again, birthday. And I feel like we probably introed enough, right? Like we need to get into some cake stuff. Get some cake time, cake time, cake time, cake time. Look at my little baby cake number 1. Isn't she cute? I'm gonna call her Molly. Actually, I don't wanna give it a name. I take it back because I'm gonna eat this cake. Chris has stacked up the cakes and crumb coated them for me. And then I kind of smoothed it out a little bit because of the first hack that we're gonna be doing. But don't judge her, okay? She's a little rustic. Not a professional baker, everyone. In case you couldn't already tell. That's what I like to say when my makeup isn't perfect. Just a little rustic today, don't worry about it. So the first hack I wanted to test out, I feel like is good, like, quickie one. Like, done. And that is creating this really beautiful marble-like effect with icing and chocolate. And as you guys can probably tell by my phone case, I do love myself some marble. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take a store-bought icing container thing. It's over here. So I keep pointing down. I should go get it. I'm actually gonna split this in half because there's no way I need to use all of this icing for this little cake. When I was little for my birthday, I always asked for a box cake with the packaged icing, because I felt like it tasted so much better than the really pretty store-bought one. So now I'm gonna take 1 piece of dark chocolate, 1 piece of light chocolate, stick it into the icing, and we'll go melt it. Melt it down to create like a marble thing. Kind of stuck them in the middle, like 1 and 2. There's a lot more milk chocolate than dark chocolate. It's probably fine though, right? That's what little cakes are for. Experimenting. Ooh, icing, yum. Now we're gonna take this, we're gonna microwave this. I don't know how long, so I'm gonna start with 10 seconds and we're gonna go from there. Till it looks pourable, I guess. Is she pourable? No, not yet. Another 10 seconds. I'm just gonna sit here and wait patiently. Patiently, not so patiently. I feel like the icing is melted, but the chocolate isn't yet. I'm gonna do it one more time. This could make it worse or better. I don't know. And then I'm gonna stick the cake on top of like an old soup can here. I'm just gonna lift it up so I can do the drizzle. That's the thing about this. How do you know when the chocolate is melted? Like, you can't stir it because that ruins the whole like marbling effect that you get once you dump it out. Maybe I'll just stick a knife in just to like see if there are any like lumps, you know? Oh yeah, there's a giant chunk of chocolate in it. This feels like it needed more instructions. So far I've microwaved it for 30 seconds in case anyone is keeping track. I'm scared I'm gonna like pour it out and it's gonna be like, ooh, here's a lot of vanilla, and then boom, like a big thing of chocolate. Which I mean is delicious, but isn't gonna look real pretty. Have you melted, little guy? Have you melted? No? What do you mean you're not melted yet? Maybe you can stir it like a little bit just to like break it up. Like, look at this. This is like a giant chunk of chocolate. This isn't melted. Why aren't you melted? So I microwaved it for another 15 seconds or so. It's pretty warm. I just don't think that the chocolate fully melted, but we're gonna try it. So you can clearly see that the icing was way too melted to the point where it's separated a little bit and the chocolate is not melted enough. Maybe it's different if you use a different quality of chocolate, a higher quality of chocolate that will melt differently. Like in the bottom there, you can see all of the chocolate has sort of solidified down there. If you tried this hack before and it's worked for you, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you did, because I failed immediately. I'm sure it's still good. No, that just tastes like oil. Next hack, and it's using bubble wrap. I'm very excited about this. My childhood dreams have come true. And basically you take melted chocolate, you lay it on top, you peel it up, and it has this beautiful textured element to it. So when you crack it and put it into different shapes, you can arrange it on a cake or on like ice cream or something like that to make this really beautiful decor element to it. And it's chocolate, so it tastes delicious. So first we're gonna need some melted chocolate. So my chocolate is now melted down. Oh, looks amazing. So now I'm gonna let it cool slightly, and then I'm gonna pour it on top of the bubble wrap. I'm just gonna pop one, just one. Awesome. So now I'm just gonna pour some onto the bubble wrap here. I saw another person do this and they'd used like you must have used white chocolate and then tinted it sort of like a golden yellow, and it made it look like honeycomb for like a bee cake. It was really cute. There's something really oddly satisfying about this. I didn't know that this was missing in my life, but turns out it was. Okay, that feels good. Plus, then I can eat this later. So now we wait. I have to wait for this to harden, so I'm gonna put this to the side. So now we wait. I'm gonna let this harden, and for the magic of editing. All right, I have the chocolate here. It is set in the fridge for a little bit, so now it's nice and like, I was gonna knock on it, but I'm scared I'm gonna break it. But it is set, regardless. You can see right here, I checked it when it had first gone in the fridge, but it wasn't ready yet. But now it seems that it is, so we're gonna turn it over and we're gonna see what this looks like. Wow, that is a super satisfying sound. So that right there is what it looks like. And like, to be honest, that looks really cool. It looks like a honeycomb. So I think what I want to do, can you imagine? I just stuck it in the middle. I'm like, done. I think what I want to do is I'm just going to break it. Ooh, it does not snap. Does not snap, people. This is real. It is melting as we speak. I want to do like a little artful piece. You know what I'm saying? You feeling this? Not yet? Don't worry. I will win you over with my artful honeycomb decor. Huh? We getting there yet? You're not convinced yet. I know it. I can see it. Artful Arrangements by Rachel. Don't hire me. I feel like I need a less melty chocolate, although it is sick looking. If I did it like in big chunks around the side and like dusted some like chocolate on top, that might look kind of cool. You know what? The hack works. And I feel like you could do that with like caramel. Do you say caramel or caramel? Let me know in the comments. I need to know. It was a really neat hack, and my hands are yet again covered in chocolate. Okay. On to the next hack. For the next baby cake, we are going to be testing out a way of tinting an icing white. So if you have a buttercream that tends to be a little bit skewed, yeah, look at my hands. Oh, Rachel, come on. This hack was really interesting in a way of tinting your buttercream more white if you have a purple food coloring, food coloring? Doesn't matter, it's the same thing. And you add the teeniest amount to your buttercream, and it's supposed to counteract a lot of that yellow tone that you get from the butter in the buttercream and make it seem more white. Now, obviously, if you add too much of the purple to your buttercream, you're gonna end up with a purple frosting or like gray. But I'm kind of curious how that stacks up against just adding white food coloring to your buttercream, and just see which one ends up looking better, because that's the purpose of testing hacks. Just kind of seeing what works. So I'm gonna separate the icing into 3 separate containers, one for the white food coloring, one for the purple, and then one is sort of like to see if it made it whiter. I'm just gonna add some white icing coloring. This should make it more white, one would hope. That's kind of the purpose of it. But I found this one was a little harder to find, whereas I think purple would be a little bit easier to find. So, and you can use a lot less of it. So maybe it works, I don't know. All right, there we go. We have the icing there. It's definitely a lot more white. And now we're gonna go on and test out using purple. Now they emphasize this a number of times to use the tiniest amount. So I am like barely gonna touch. Like, do you see how much? Oh my gosh, that's probably too much. That was too much. All right, well, made a nice purple icing though. Okay, we're gonna take a toothpick this time and like, gonna get like the tiniest, did I get any on? No, I didn't. Very small amount right now. Okay, let's see if that did anything at all. Okay, I don't think that was quite enough. So I'm gonna do a little bit more, like a hair more. Not even a hair, like a tiny little amount. Okay, so I can see a little purple showing up in there. So let me get a fresh spoon and we'll try this again. Come on, hacks. Work for me today. That did make a little bit of a difference. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe that's what I want to believe. It kind of did. It kind of did. Now I feel like this right here is about as white as I could make it, which is almost more of like a neutral, like a gray beige, a grayish color theory. Check. Let's see if I lay it out side by side, how much of a difference you can tell. So if you compare it side by side, that the white side with the white icing coloring is much whiter than the one with the purple. Although if you compare that to the original, it did lighten it and make it less yellow. And I just want to cover this in white icing. Be so beautiful. What birthday traditions do you have? Do you go anywhere special? Do you do anything special? or to do nothing at all. I have a fun like birthday fact. I really wanted to say it like in Worth It. I've been watching binge watching every single one of those episodes, by the way. Birthday fact! Every year in my household, when someone is celebrating birthday, we use the same exact banner. In fact, I demand it. I don't ask for presents. I don't want any presents, but I need that banner up. And it's basically happy 43rd birthday. And to reuse it every year, they just put whoever's picture it is and they put that in the center. Or sometimes they draw a stick figure of that person and they put it over the 43 so that we can keep using it. It's just one of those traditions that I just won't let go. And then for cake number 3, I'm gonna be testing out yet again another hack that I found using pre-made icing. There were a lot of hacks using pre-made icing. And this hack states that you can take a regular plain icing, throw it into a bowl and then whisk it together. It's going to double in volume. You're going to get a really nice fluffy icing, and you're also going to double the amount of icing that you end up getting. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to see how much fits back into the container to kind of get a sense of how much volume I've created. And I'm also kind of curious in terms of the texture and the taste of it, if it changes it at all, if it tastes better when it's kind of fluffy, you know, like a whipped cream kind of consistency. I think that would taste better. That's me personally. We're gonna dump all this icing into the bowl here. I do enjoy good homemade icing, but sometimes you're in a pinch. You need to get it done, or sometimes your kids want to be part of the baking process and spread icing all over your kitchen. No, just me? Okay. All right, let's mix. The consistency is a lot fluffier and it's a lot whiter too of an icing, which is interesting. Let's take this out and compare volume in a very unscientific way. It looks so much better than canned icing, by the way. Oh, she is lovely. I did whip this for the recommended few minutes. It does seem to have expanded in size. I wouldn't have said double though. Like I want to say slightly more than was initially in the container. Maybe I'll try whipping it more. All right. One more time from the top. All right, I whipped it for another 2 minutes. I went to go get another SD card. We'll never have enough of those in my life. Let's try one more time. See if this got any thicker. So this is how much icing I am getting currently. It did increase in volume. I wouldn't say it doubles or anything like that. In terms of taste, it is a little lighter in consistency. It's not that same thick syrupiness. It's kind of nice. I kind of recommend it. Although if you're going through the whole process of whipping up pre-made icing, you could also probably just whip up icing unless you don't have the ingredients for it. I'm just saying. All right, let's ice this. Huh. Look at that technique. Ooh, you know what it reminds me of? Is marshmallow fluff. Like not as sticky, but like a little bit. Okay, this may not be the prettiest icing job, but I am having fun, so, you know. That's all that counts. It's my birthday. Okay, now on to the hack that I'm probably the most excited about, and that is taking different colored icings, rolling them all up, and then you can create this like swirl effect with the icing. I've seen people do it all over the internet, it's all over Instagram, and it looks amazing. I need to try it, so that's what we're doing. So I took a couple of different gel food colorings that I had on hand and kind of mixed them together, and I thought these would be pretty like pastel galaxy-esque kind of vibes. And the recipe for the buttercream I got online and it was super highly rated. It looks a little grainy, so I'm a little concerned about that, but we're gonna go with it. And now that we have them all laid out, you can see they kind of look like bacon strips. Really pretty pastel bacon strips. And then basically I'm going to roll it over so it becomes a cylinder, kind of flop the colors on top of each other. I have a star-shaped piping tip, which is the only one I have. So now we're going to stuff this inside. And I'm starting to realize the problem I'm currently having, which is that the amount of icing that I chose is too big for my piping bag. It's okay. It's okay. That's fine. We'll figure it out. Don't want to meld the colors together. I just want it to be thin enough that it fits. Maybe that'll work. She said hopefully. How do they make this look so effortless? This is effortful. Wow. I can't catch a break today on my birthday weekend. You know what? We're going rogue. This is not the perfect icing consistency, internet. You steered me wrong. There is some like pasteliness going on there. It kind of was gray at the beginning here. It's becoming more and more blues and purples, but I think my piping tip is too small and I can't really remove the piping tip at this point. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. By the way, if you are professional at this, please feel free to offer any recommendations that you offer in your masterful experience, because clearly, as you can see, I'm struggling. Struggling in a good way though, it's still icing. So I'm gonna make a new recipe and we'll be back. All right, so we're back with icing number 2. So this time I went with 3 colors instead of 5. I upped the amount of icing sugar in it by about a cup or so. So it just made a sturdier icing and it feels a lot better. And I also eliminated the icing, the piping tip. This is way too small. So let's see if this works on my plate here. It's kind of coming out in this like weird curly pattern. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, and it came out all the top. Oh, you know what? I'm not the world's greatest at icing. I think if I get a bigger piping tip, I think that would make a huge difference because it'll have some like stability to it. And I think that adding in that extra icing sugar made a huge difference as well because it just made it a more sturdy icing. So you could really see those colors intertwine there. It's not my cutest pattern ever, but you know what? I think there's hope here. I think it could work. I need like another 20 tries, but I'll get there. Wow, this video was a journey. Wasn't at all what I expected. I was hoping to have 3 cakes set up to have you guys decide which one you like best, but honestly, I don't know if any of them work. I mean, I'm still gonna eat them all. In fact, let's grab one right now. What do you guys think? That's right, I'm actually digging into the back of this cake right now. Did you like any of these hacks? Have you tried any of them before? If you have any recommendations from a pro to an amateur, let me know in the comments. I'm always willing to learn. That's some good cake though. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I will see you guys on my next video. Love you all. Mwah.